Country music is often seen as one of the most traditional, identity heavy genres in the world. So I'm interested in what it means to enter that space as a queer artist in 2026. And what does that say about culture and how things are shifting more broadly? To help me answer that, joining me today is Jack Bruce. Jack, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, mate.
Right, so let's jump straight in. So when you first decided to pursue country music as sort of openly gay, did it feel rebellious, or was it risky, or was it just you being honest?
Um, I think, I think it's just me being honest. I've always loved country music because it tells stories in a different way that I find other music does. So I've always loved country music, but yeah, going into it was I didn't have no fear at all.
No, that makes sense. I mean, country music as a whole, I mean, this is my interpretation, is that it carries a very strong sense of tradition. So did you grow up kind of feeling aligned with that tradition, or was it always that you felt a little bit at odds with it as a sort of traditional thing?
Yeah, no, I definitely, the younger me would never have gone into country music because, like you say, it's so traditional. And as a queer artist, I feel like 26 is the year, like everyone is so much more open and you can be who you want to be and everyone just sort of waves your flag with you. So I do feel like I've got so many nice comments of people, other country artists that have like welcomed me with open arms and they're like sharing my music. So yeah, no, it's been so far so good.
Talk to me then, because we're living in this world now where sort of media has turned on its head. You know, once upon a time, you'd like sell your soul to present a daytime TV show, say, whereas now you can get a daytime TV show and you've got less of an audience than someone that's got their own YouTube show or a podcast. So I obviously understand from doing a lot of broadcasting work how that world has just completely turned on its head. And, you know, some established presenters like a Piers Morgan has left traditional TV to go do a YouTube thing. So that just kind of tells you how the times are going. Obviously, some people might say that makes it harder because actually now, rather than sort of competing in your local area or in your country, you're actually competing on YouTube with the entire world, at least the English speaking world. So what has that transition been like in the music industry? Is it, oh, well, it's so much better now because you can just post your songs anywhere, you don't need a record label, you don't need a manager, you just go? Or is it that it's so oversaturated that, you know, that it's harder than ever to break through? What's your kind of take on how breaking through has evolved?
I mean, I think social media is obviously the way forward. Like, I can post a snippet of my song and it can reach thousands of people within seconds. Where, like, with TV, I suppose that if you're not tuning in, you haven't seen it. So I think like social media, all of my anything that I've got is all come from social media. I've literally like my TikTok went up to like 10,000 after like a couple of months. Like it's just blown up. So I think, yeah, social media is sort of the way forward. I know I used to be quite negative towards social media because I never see the point of it. But now as an artist, I understand that's how I reach people. That's how I'm getting my followings. That's how I'm getting my fans. So yeah, social media like is for me, it's been a blessing.
What about revenue generation? Because obviously, you know, sort of back in the day where people went and bought a physical album or a CD, you
Mhm,
understood how that was generating revenue. But nowadays, people can just watch your song on YouTube. I don't really know how Spotify works.
mhm.
You know, I have heard, and I'm not obviously in this industry, but, you know, oh, the way you make money now is live performances because anyone can listen to your song whenever. And that's almost like an advert for coming to your show. How is the revenue generation side, and how has that evolved?
I mean, I don't like I say, I'm like a new artist, so I don't know how it was like back in the day, but it's all to do with views and listens and streams. So the more people that stream your
Mm.
songs, the obviously the better it is. And then that's how you would make money off the streams. But then also it's inviting people to your shows and to watch you perform. And I think as well, like with social media as well, like people can see what you actually are really like. Like before, you would only see like
Mm.
music videos and maybe like interviews on like MTV and stuff like that. But now, if they're following your Instagram, TikTok, wherever, it's they can see what you are as a person if they actually like you. Because I think nowadays it's the underdog that's coming forward, because it's the people that used to be quiet that are now making noise, and they're the one that are succeeding. It's a bit like maybe like Lady Gaga, for example. Like she will go and do some like weird stuff, but everyone loves her for it. And it's just showing that being different is good, and it's the new normal.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because I think maybe, sort of back in the day, there was a bit of mystique around who these people were when they were off stage. But you're saying that actually who you are off stage is just as important because people sort of get bought into, I guess, the brand, for lack of a better term. Well, does that create pressure then? So that you're not just having to write songs and record them and focus on the music, but you've also got to think about how are you creating or showing enough of yourself that people would be invested?
Yeah, I do. I do sometimes have to really think about what I'm posting, because a lot of the people that do follow me are following my journey in the music. So sometimes me on a dog walk or what I'm eating for dinner, they don't always want to see. They want to see like what you're doing, what's next. So yeah, I do feel a little bit pressure like with what I'm posting and when I'm posting as well. Like I know I think it's with TikTok, you have to like post certain times a day, but it's when the people are more active. So you posting at like first thing in the morning might not get no views. So you have to like really think about when people are going to be on their lunch break or when they're finishing work and things like that. So yeah, I would say that there's a lot of thought that goes behind your posting.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go back to focusing on country music as sort of a genre then. So obviously we've sort of talked about it has a very fixed image, or at least did. So what's been your experience going into that space that sort of wasn't built with someone like you in mind?
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. Well, when I first went into the studio to record my first song, it was going to be like a pop dancey sort of track. And then my producer was like, this is not a pop song, this is a country song. And we started playing around with it. And then that's when I fell in love with country all over again. Because I was like, yes, because I feel like my storytelling is so good. But it's just like, as a queer artist, normally people want to listen to like, the pop music. And I obviously I'm a pop country artist, but country storytelling to me is so important because it just tells a story in a whole different way. And like I said, when we released the first track, I had some country artists reach out to me and was like, "Whoa, it's you for someone that's just going into country music, like it's amazing." And then when I released my second track, Devil's Child, it just blew up. I had so many people messaging me and supporting me. I've been invited to go and see other country artists sing, and they've invited me to their shows, and it's been it's everything that I've wanted it to be.
And what is it like for the other sort of young country stars coming up now? Is there a feeling that that genre is changing because younger, newer people have new interpretations, or is it still like you're trying to keep to source material, if that makes sense? Like, how is it evolving outside of just you?
I think a lot of people that are doing country now are doing like there's like country dance and things like that, because like I've been to like festivals and stuff when they're playing country songs, but with like a dance beat behind it. And it's never been
Mm.
done before. It was just before it was like a little banjo and a microphone or something. But yeah, I think country has taken a whole new turn on what it is. And it's not just, in a bar in Nashville with a guitar. It's everything now. And I really think country music is the one that's going to take over.
Yeah. And how much for you personally? Like, because we've kind of said, it's not just about releasing music anymore. You can't, like, they have to be invested in you. So, to that extent, you're sort of building a community rather than building an audience. So I guess how much now do you take feedback as sort of a modern artist? So say in some of the videos I do, people might comment and say, I'd love to hear you talk about this. I'm like, good idea. So do you take anything from the comments now? Like, oh, I could work that into a new song, or actually I do need, like, is the feedback helpful? And is it a community?
Yeah, I mean, I've got quite a thick skin, so I take everything on board. And I think if someone's taken the time to listen to my music or watch my videos, I think, yeah, you're right. I could be doing that better. Or yeah, I think I should do this. And I've made some like really cool like friendships as well, like over social media, just from comments. So I think, yeah, I always take it on the chin, and I respect everyone's like views on what I'm doing and whatnot, because they're the
Mm,
ones that hopefully are going to come to my shows. They're the ones that's going to buy my merch, things like that. So I think it is
yeah.
really important.
And do you find that you have a dual audience? Because as I say, country music, and then obviously the LGBT thing coming in, you say those are two dual audiences, and do they cross over? And do some people find you from one thing, or how does that work of having sort of two audiences?
Yeah, I feel like the the queer community have been, obviously, the one thing I love about the queer community, we do all stick together and we will support each other no matter what. I feel like sometimes we don't speak up when we should speak up, but I feel like the queer community have been nothing but lovely to me as always, and the countryside have just been welcoming. I've
Mm.
had such a blast over the last couple of months, just meeting people and yeah, just having fun with it.
Talk to me also about being a man in the space, because obviously masculinity is constantly evolving, seems like constantly up for debate. You think about country music, and I feel like in my head that's more of a traditional masculine thing. But where do you sort of sit within that, and how is it as a man in modern country music?
Yeah, I mean, I think the older generation probably wouldn't be too happy to see someone like me doing what they do. But I haven't had no negative comments as of yet. But I think it's changing. I think the world's changing. I think we're in a different space now. I think everything is more. It's okay to be who you want to be. It's just how you do it. I think
Mm.
I my personal view is.
Yeah, no, I mean, and what are there lots of young men that are still getting into country, or is it, obviously you're younger, so you're trying to bring this to a younger audience. Is it something that men resonate with, the country music?
Yeah, yeah. I think people like Post Malone and stuff, when he started coming out with a bit of country, it was like, whoa, someone that
Mm,
looks like tattooed and like gold teeth is like singing country music. It's like, well, it's never been seen before. So I think everyone's just like
mm.
just enjoying the music now, instead of being like, oh, I can't listen to that because I'm not of this color, or I can't do that because I'm queer. It's we're all just music's there, music's love. Like we're all just enjoying it at last.
Yeah. And then I guess question now for on that gay side, and just as kind of a when you're packaging yourself up, like I am delighted that you feel that the world is changing a lot, and it is, and things are undoubtedly better for gay people. But we still get, for instance, we know that there are huge Hollywood A-listers that are gay that don't want to come out because they think it'll impact their roles.
Yeah.
So when you are in a career that is very media focused, that ideally you want as many people to like you as possible, because that's more sales, that's more fans, that's more buying of the merch. Do you ever feel pressure to be a palatable version of queer, or does that not factor in? Or what is your kind of take on that, I need to be palatable?
Yeah, I with the music, I'm 100% myself, but I have been in situations and places where you know that you just don't fit in, and sort of you say the wrong thing, you could start drama, it could learn to. But I'm always 100% myself, but I just don't particularly go to them places anymore, and I won't surround myself with people that don't love me for me. Do you know what I mean? But I would never change what I'm doing or who I am. I just won't go to certain places if they don't want me there.
Yeah, no, that's
Mm.
totally fair.
Yeah.
Was gonna say, I mean, to wrap up, I guess I'd love to know a little bit about what success looks like for you, because I feel like we're in a world now where success is changing depending on where you are. Success to a lot of people back in the day would have been buy a house, have some kids, get married, and that's it. Or even like success in, as I kicked off at the start of this, like success if you wanted to be a broadcaster was you might become a local weather presenter, and then if you're lucky, you might get to go and read the news on a national TV program, or back in the day with music, it might be about albums sold. Everyone's version of success is very different these days. It's very hard to know what even is successful because you might sell 1 million records, but you can easily look over there on Instagram or wherever and see, well, he sold 2 million. Like, it's just so harder than ever to kind of know if you're successful. And I think it has to come from within, but I'd love to know what you kind of see as success, both in your career, but also as sort of a wider life.
Mm. I think waking up happy and doing what you want to do with your life, that's success. I think like I wake up every day and I could write music, I spend time with my family, take my dog for a walk. That's what I would call success. I think if you've got sort of like a passion for something and you're not doing it and you're doing your little 9 to 5 job, you're buying the house, you're doing what we're programmed realistically we're meant to do, when it's not. You can do whatever you want to do. Just be respectful doing it and just own it. But you need to wake up every day and just be like, yes, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And that's what I find keeps me going and what makes me happy. I used to when I used to like years ago when I was writing music and I was like, oh, no one's ever going to listen to this. And I used to get myself really down about it. And I was like, well, you're not doing anything with it. Get up, go to the studio. You're gonna like my first single. I think we had about 10 tracks of it because I was just not happy. I was like, I'm not putting this out. I'm not putting that out. And then now we're just sort of like, okay, what's the worst? What's gonna happen? Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just do it. Just be
Well,
happy.
to people that are thinking about getting into your industry, but maybe feeling a little bit hesitant to do it, like what would, outside of just do it, like what would be your advice? And is there anything you wish someone had told you before you got started?
I would say probably do your research. Make sure because there's so many companies out there that are like, oh, we can do this for you, we can do that. When you can do a lot of it on your own, you just need to like find the right people. Like I host a podcast where we interview upcoming musicians to give them a platform, and anything like radio play, anything like that, I give them all the advice. Like just email people, like, but just
Hmm.
I don't know how to word it. You just gotta just do your research. Basically, don't just pay the first person that's gonna say they're gonna make you a star because that's not how it works. It's not how it works.
It's interesting. I think a lot of careers now, like, people don't have agents as much anymore.
Mhm.
Actually, the world has been democratized a little bit in that way where you can kind of do a lot yourself, especially with
Yeah.
ChatGPT now. Oh, wait, I can't let you go without asking you about ChatGPT, though. So, how much AI goes into it now? So, say, it's 2 a.m. You can't get the lyrics right. Do you throw it into ChatGPT and ask it to come up with some suggestions?
No, but
How much?
I haven't used it for my lyrics, but I wrote a song about 2 weeks ago actually, and I just could not think of the right title for it. So I put the lyrics into the app, and I said, "What would be a good song title?" And it gave me a list of them, but I didn't actually pick them because I didn't like it. So it still has no name because they made it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I do use
But
AI sometimes to help with my images. So if I need to add like my name or something on to like my poster and whatnot, I will do that. But yeah, I haven't used it for my lyrics as of yet.
yeah. Well, where what is your take on AI when it comes to art and music? Because, I know it didn't work for you, but AI could have come up with a better title. It very much, it could have been one that you just resonated with and that was it. It might help you change the lyrics a little bit. And the more you feed it all of your songs and all of your writing, the
Change.
better it's going to be at
Yeah,
mimicking your voice.
yeah,
But then there is a real worry about synthetic music now. There's those little bits we talked about. There are full on digital artists
mhm,
that they don't even exist. They're not even real, but they've got catchy songs
yeah,
that have been, they've used all the algorithms and all of the information to make something really catchy that you are going to be competing with, because it's going to be a choice between your song and that. So
yeah.
what is your kind of interpretation of how AI is going to impact the music industry?
It's scary. We was actually discussing this on my podcast, and there's an artist that we was going to be interviewing, and was like, "Oh, your songs are amazing," and then it turns out that they're all AI. That the individual doesn't even write any of the songs or the music, anything. And for someone that sits there, like I spend a lot of hours like trying to like I get writer's block. So I'm sitting there getting frustrated trying to find the right words, and then you've got people that are literally just putting it into an app and it's doing it all for them. That does wind me up. Like I mean,
But
if you
I guess the flip of that is it just for, you know, it's like with AI, the genie is almost out of the bottle. You know, is it not in that situation? Someone's say this was the early 2000s. Someone say, "Oh, I found the information. I googled it," and you're there like, "Well, I was about to go to the library and spend the afternoon looking through books to find it." Like, is it if some artists do it, are not all artists going to eventually have to do it to keep up with the speed?
yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like the modern day auto-tune, isn't it? Like when like singers
Mm.
used to just use auto-tune all the time and it wasn't actually their voice. And it's a bit like that because no one's actually heard you sing. It's all like smoke and mirrors. So it's a bit like that. And yeah, it's scary. I don't want to think about it.
Well, so is your prediction you're not excited about what AI could do to the music industry? You're more a bit more skeptical about what it's going to do?
I'm on the fence. I don't know how
Okay,
to feel
well,
about it.
that's a very fair place to be.
Yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed talking to you. If someone wants to go and listen to your music, where can they go? And also the podcast you mentioned.
Yeah, so podcast is on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's called Getting to Know Me. And my music's on all streaming platforms. And it's under Jack Bruce.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Subscribe for more content.